For those who know George Animal and seen the journey over the last 2 years, they would say that you've had a bit of a redemption story in a way. So
some pretty solid mountains to climb.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 13. We are now at the bike shed. My name is George, I'm an entrepreneur, and I've built this business from the ground up, and now we want to document and show exactly what we do and how we do it, and give you guys an insight into actually what goes on behind the scenes in my own life, so far as the stresses and the strains and the struggles of just running a business. So let's go take a look. So yeah, last time we were here, we talked a little bit about the distance between points. But because of the way this has been designed, we are going to be putting in posts in the middle, which then automatically divides the distance. So instead of it being 3.5 meters, it'll be actually more like 1.5 meters and 2 meters, or in the middle. And then that way we can run posts all the way through. Obviously in Norway, if a meter of snow comes, you can't afford to have too many meters between 2 points, or if you do, then you need to upscale with the materials that you're going to use, i.e. maybe steel or glued wood, which is where they actually process the wood together, glue it in layers, and it makes it very, very strong. But then that obviously ups the cost as well. So hence why we now have run a middle row through here to support the roof. So now instead of having a distance of nearly 4 meters from there to there, we now have approximately 2 meters and then 1.5 meters here.
For anybody who's just jumped in the last couple of videos, they've seen George Animal running a business, things looking good, 5 projects on the go and more.
Yeah.
And on the paper and on the surface, it looks like everything's good.
Smooth.
Smooth, yeah.
Yeah.
But for those who know George Animal and seen the journey over the last 2 years, they would say that you've had a bit of a redemption story in a way. So
some pretty solid mountains to climb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I went bankrupt not even 2 years ago, geez, 1.5 years ago was when I officially declared bankruptcy. Wasn't without fault. I aggressively reinvested in the company, and pushed it to the limit. I pushed myself to the limit, and yeah, interest rates went up. Some projects went wrong, especially one customer not paying, or two. It was like the perfect storm. So I was at fault. I shouldn't have pushed as hard as I did. But yeah, the whole thing fell apart. All the bikes will slot into these compartments here, and also in here. It's important that people bring the bikes in, that there's enough space here. So you didn't want to feel like this didn't want to be any closer over here, so suddenly it's a small passageway. It needs to feel like there's plenty of space to move the bike in and park everything. So I think we've hit the nail on the head with the post here. Looks nice. Here there is going to go a hammock, and obviously we need a good foundation. We can't dig too deep here because there's actually an underground car park. So if you can't go with depth on the foundation, then it's better to then go wide. It's better to go wide anyway. So hence why this whole frame here is going to be filled with concrete, and then we can then fill back over with a little bit of soil. And then there'll be a post going across from there to there to create rigidity, and then we'll have a hammock in here. These are going to be the flower boxes, combined with 2 sitting areas. Pergola's done, boxes are done, terrace is done. Nearly all of the wooden framing is done, as in the cladding. Is that an English word? Cladding? Panels, yeah. One of the hardest things was that I had to prove myself to, for example, all the people that I had built a relationship with in the business. Now, fortunately, all of them got paid, so I actually never owed any of those guys money. But for me to then my word was always, I've always been proud of the fact that my word is my bond, if you will. And my word didn't count for shit when I had to restart oh yeah, I'm good for it, I can pay, we're going to be up and running, I've got sales, you know, just talk. And I just kept knocking on the door. And then eventually, because everyone said, no, we can't support you with a digger, no, we can't support you with a car, everybody. And eventually I came across one guy who said, oh, I remember you. When I was working for another leasing company, we did a lot of work, as in for you guys, with sorting you out of leasing. Yeah, I know who you are. I'll back you, if you will. And he sorted out the leasing for those 2 diggers, the 1 ton and the 3 tonner. And then that's how it started. Roof is coming on, that's going to be, those panels come by 120 by 450. And then the join will be on the rafters here, but we'll also be running a smaller dimension wood all the way across in rafters beams that way to strengthen and rigid up the roof, what would you say, to give the roof more rigidity, and also spread the weight. So that's the final thing. So really, roof to go, a little bit more finishing on the panels, on the ends and the doors, and just a good tidy up. And also get the the block paving, put that back into place, fill the little holes where we've lifted stuff up.
So what's your favourite piece so far by this whole architecture? What are you like?
I like the slats.
Like the slats?
They look really nice spacing, it's not too heavy, and also even on the tops and the bottoms he's cut it at an angle so it just looks nice. And it's straight. You know, I mean, I know it's an obvious thing to say, but there are people that will, in the name of speed and efficiency, things are like just about okay. But no, these are dead on the money, and that's important to me. It's got to be. Yeah, man, that was tough. And then that was when I made the decision that if it all goes to shit, then so be it. But I ain't prepared to lose my soul in the process again. I've already been through enough. So I chose to not stress about it. I chose that I was never going to make a decision under stress. So for example, the banks are calling like, do you want to buy this thing on auction? It's an auction going. Are you going to bid on it? No, I haven't got the money. The financing's not in place. And that was a very freeing moment, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. The final piece of the puzzle is to attach the door. Either we're going to do sliding doors or we're going to do a door that opens. We'll try and get the sliding doors right because that would be the best. We just need to figure out how we're going to do it and make it look nice. So that's the main goal. Other than that, this job is very close to being finished. It's maybe another week or so and we're done and dusted. This whole YouTube journey is exactly what it is. It's a journey, and I feel lucky enough to have captured it from a very poignant moment in my life, and then for them to be sitting here in a completely different contrast to where I was a year and a half ago. It's a testament to itself, and it's a pretty cool story in the sense of inspiring for somebody else that's rock bottom right now. You just got to keep putting one foot in front of the other. You just got to get up out of bed. You just got to make your bed. You've just got to stand up. You just got to open the door and go out. You know, you've got to put yourself in front of people. You've got to be knocked back time after time after time. And you've got to have the grit and the resilience to just be that this does not determine who I am. At the same time, what the hell did I do wrong? How did I end up here? I ain't coming back here again. Make sure this never happens again. Start and put checkpoints in place. So that's really what's happened. That's been the journey. It would have been kind of cool, in all honesty, if I'd have documented it from day one. You know, from year one, just me felling trees. Fast forward 8 years, 22 staff, 22 million gross turnover, and absolutely broken. To then now, half the revenue, 10 staff, and in a sweet spot, but still really grinding, still really working the leads and really making sure that this is a success, which it is so far. But it's not going to be the only thing that defines me. I think it'd be really cool for you guys to be able to start to see a little bit of the bigger picture which is a little bit more life. We all live one, we all do it, and we all have to make the best of it. And we can always draw in strength and courage from other people, and we can always find inspiration in the most unlikely places. So that's a nice little landing chat from me, but definitely for you guys that maybe have just stumbled across this now, it's nice for you at least to understand where I've come from. Please feel free to check out the first 4 videos where we actually did do a themed documentary, if you will, over that course of that year with coming back, and the lessons that I learned and the lessons that were critical for me to learn before I move forwards. Super, and I'm quite dialed, but those lessons, purpose or contentment or happiness and joy, they're super important, super important. So here we are today. Life is pretty good. Life is very good. Geez, we have to acknowledge we already have woken up and been brought up in a world where we're already lucky, and that's a good perspective to live from. So, peace out.